Hi, everyone. Welcome back into My Chamber TV. We are the heartbeat of the Tampa Bay community. I'm your host, Barbara Marville Kelly. Thank you so much for joining us. My protege here, or partner in crime.
Actually, protege is a good call. I'm Paul Friedlander. I am with Total Title Solutions, but here today representing the Greater Pasco Chamber of Commerce, hanging out with my buddy, Miss Barbara Marville.
Exactly.
And we have our first two guests who are from Jones and Associates? Is that
Jones and Company.
Jones
CPAs.
and Company CPAs. Sorry about that. Well, Patricia Jones and I serve on a couple of boards together. I've known her for a really long time. She's wonderful in our community. I'm going to let her introduce all her accolades and everything, but she's also got Miss Traci Malik with her today, and she's been with the agency since 2002 and a CPA since 2000. Ladies, I'm going to let you go ahead and talk about yourselves first, but then we'd like to have you start by telling us a little bit more about the Payment Protection Program, or the PPP, and some of the other topics.
Absolutely.
Okay, great.
Go ahead.
Hi, I'm Pat Jones, and I've been in practice since 1986. I started in Pasco County as a sole proprietor, woman, 0 clients. One of the first things I did, and back then it was the newspaper, I would send out letters to new businesses that were filing fictitious names to tell them about their filing requirements for, payroll taxes and all of that. And from there, I got a client or two who, to say today, they're still a client of mine.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, so I've been around a long time. I'm a certified public accountant in the state of Florida. I'm also a certified fraud examiner. I'm certified in financial forensics, and I am accredited in business valuation. So I have a couple little...
I think you have a little experience there.
Behind me.
Very good. I think that's what people are looking for, someone
Right.
with experience in your area.
And we have, our firm's been around since '86, and today there's 3 CPAs in our firm. We have a staff of 3 others right now, and during tax season we bring in another CPA, to help with the needs.
Awesome.
So I'll let Traci introduce herself.
I'm Traci Malik. I'm a CPA. I'm also certified in financial forensic and certified in fraud examinations. I have a master's in accounting from University of South Florida. Go Bulls. And it started with Pat back in 2002, became a partner in the business in 2010. We really enjoy what we do. We like helping our clients, and we want to be our clients' trusted advisor to help them with all of their needs. So we really enjoy what we do.
That's awesome. And getting back to that Paycheck Protection Program, and one of the other topics, let's also talk about payroll tax deferral and some of the things that got waived. So that, because I'm sure, it seems like when I've talked to CPAs, some of them are confused about exactly, because I'm guessing the government changes their rules every other day, if not every day.
Absolutely. They're changing it all the time. It's in its 3rd revision now. And even with the revisions they've made, it's not clear. They're not answering all of the questions. So everybody has questions. It's really difficult for small businesses to understand what's going on. So we try to, help them as much as we can. We've helped a lot of our clients with the applications to get the PPP funds. Right now, banks are not allowing anybody to apply for the forgiveness because Congress does currently have a bill in progress that small businesses that got PPP loans of $150,000 or less could possibly just have a check the box waiver and have it forgiven. Right now there's a huge application for it to be forgiven. It's going to be very difficult for small businesses. So if this passes, it would be great for small businesses. So we're really looking forward to that passing.
Well, let me ask you
Fingers
this.
crossed.
That application to be forgiven, is that something that would fall on your plate?
We have been asked by numerous
Remember.
clients to help them with that. Some other people may be able to do it themselves.
Right.
It just depends on.
But that is something that you guys
we could
can.
help.
Yes,
That's what I. Yes.
absolutely.
Right.
We can help them with
And
that.
on the application they have out there now, you would have to provide all the supporting documents as far as the payroll expenses, your rents, the mortgage payments. So there's a lot of supporting documents that have to be provided. So we've had a lot of clients ask us to help in this process.
All right. And what are some other new things for clients, especially the businesses that you deal with?
So currently there is what President Trump just passed, which is the payroll tax deferral. This is also confusing because he passed it, and it's my understanding Congress hasn't passed it yet. So what it is it's deferral from September through December for employee Social Security tax, so you don't have to withhold that, and then you actually have to pay it back January through April of next year. So there's problems with this in the fact what if your employee leaves? who's responsible for those taxes? That's a question that hasn't been answered yet. So in the CPA community, they're kind of saying, well, we don't really recommend people do that unless the employee really needs it. It is optional. Employers do not have to defer the Social Security tax, so it is something that they should think about possibly not doing.
And it's the employee portion of it, not the employer portion. So the employer still would be needing to remit those taxes.
Gotcha.
I had no idea. That's interesting.
That's
Yeah.
it is. It's very
Especially when you can't get answers.
Yes.
That's
That part I really love.
Yes. It's like, who will they come back to? Will they go after the employee for it if they leave the firm, or will they go after the employer?
Or does the employer need to have an agreement with the employee as far as the repayment of those taxes?
Exactly.
So there's so much unknown out there right now on this issue.
Catch 22. So,
Yes.
but it's not affecting the employer.
No.
They're still paying theirs, but it's putting a little more money in the pocket of the employee.
Yeah.
That's it, exactly.
Yeah, it's
Gotcha.
meant to help the employee right now in case, they've got a lot of expenses.
Well,
but-
it's interesting because my opinion, the key word is employee, which means they are employed.
Yes.
That's
Yes, which is a good thing.
Which is a good thing.
Yes.
Exactly.
Very good.
Even at our offices, I remind the girls when they start complaining about some of our customers, I said, here's the good news. We got customers to complain
right.
about.
Oh, boy, that's for sure.
That's right.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, I'm guessing that it would behoove a customer, a client, to come to you to help get this guidance, because if you're faced with this, I can only imagine what it's doing to your clients.
Yes.
If they try to do that on their own.
Yes, we can absolutely help with consulting. Plus, if they follow us on Facebook and Twitter, I post things on there, articles and everything about what's going on.
Oh,
And how
Right.
do they find you on Facebook and
Exactly.
Jones CPAs.
Jones CPAs.
Mm-hmm.
Jones CPAS.
Yes.
Twitter? Awesome.
Very good.
Awesome. And you may have mentioned it when you first did your introductions of each other. Are you guys able to represent somebody at a IRS audit?
Yes. As CPAs, we can get power of attorney on clients, and then we can represent them. We can get copies of any notices sent to them. We can correspond with the IRS directly. We can represent them with an audit.
Awesome.
Absolutely.
Right. One of the things we do with our tax practice is when we have a new client, we see that there may be, it's a complex return, we automatically will have them do a power of attorney so that if any issues come up, we'll get a copy of the notice and we can address it, with the client, and we can talk to IRS on their behalf, or pull a transcript of, when we see that there's a difference in the income that's being reported in our notice.
And not everybody can do that, right? You have to be a
No, you have to be
registered agent with the, is that what it's called?
That's correct,
Registered
enrolled
A
agent
agent.
with the
CPA, an
IRS.
enrolled agent can.
Gotcha.
An attorney can as well,
Okay.
for his power of attorney. So you definitely would, we feel that's an additional service for our clients. when
Oh,
we have them do that.
absolutely. Then they don't have, one-stop shop, right?
Absolutely.
What's
Exactly.
required minimum distribution that's been waived? What does that mean? I'm sorry.
The monies you have in your retirement accounts.
Yes.
Once you reach the age of 72 with the new law, it used to be 70 and a half, but at the age of 72, you're required, they take that balance at the end of the year, the prior year, and they divide it by what they call your remaining life expectancy. And then that's the amount you have to, let's say you have you have 100,000 in your RMD, in your
Right.
retirement account,
Right.
and you have a 10-year life expectancy based on the tables, then you're required to take 10,000 out each year. So and it's taxable. So one of the things they've done now is with the COVID and to help people, they're not required to take their RMD out. So it's less taxable income that you're going to have to pay. So we've been trying to advise our client, if they don't need that RMD, is to leave it in the account and let it grow and then reinvest.
That's awesome.
I have this crazy question, but I got to ask it. Okay, so what do you base how many years somebody has left? I'm
Oh,
sorry.
IRS
I
has
had
a
to
table for
say
that.
Of course they do.
They
Of
know.
course. I should have known that.
Those are called actuaries.
Yes. Smarter people than us.
Sorry.
Those are called
I was
actuaries.
having a senior moment.
It sounds like, what's really cool listening to you guys, it sounds like you take your client, you put your arm around them,
Yeah.
you make them feel like
Yeah.
family. Talk to us about, and we've keyed in on this, but talk to us about some of the other services you offer that would be critical to the people listening today.
Absolutely. So accounting obviously is one of our big functions. So with small businesses especially, we're a boutique. So it all depends on what they want us to do. So maybe somebody just wants, monthly accounting or quarterly accounting. That's good could. Some people do their own accounting. Maybe we check their QuickBooks and just make some changes, journal entries. So it's all what the customer wants. And if it's something that we don't do, then we find somebody that can do it for them.
Right.
So accounting, taxes, obviously we do taxes for individuals, estates and trusts, corporations, partnerships.
Forensic work as well. I mean, we
Yes.
look at the forensic, I mean, we get involved with divorces, as far as, hidden assets. We're also involved with divorces for collaborative divorce. I don't know if you're aware of collaborative, but a collaborative divorce is where both parties agree to hire a collaborative attorney, and then they hire a financial neutral. And then we represent both parties. I mean, so we come in and we'll do the financial affidavit, we'll look at the assets, and we'll look to see what equitable distribution should be with the parties, and then we're engaged by the clients. So, I mean, that's an up-and-coming thing with collaborative.
That's awesome.
Forensic work, I mean, we've been doing forensic work where you have misappropriations of funds, divorce situation or shareholder disputes. I mean, we'll go back and we'll take a look at, those issues.
Gotcha. And I
Very
assume
good.
forensic work also applies to an employer that's got some questions about money.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes, we've done several fraud investigations
You
for
mentioned
small
that, yes.
businesses and trying to help them out. So it's very important to
Gosh,
find out.
I get a little warm fuzzy listening
Yeah.
to you guys. Seriously, it feels like they do. I feel like the client walks in the front door, they just come out and give them a hug.
I know. Exactly.
Used to.
Yeah, you used to. Exactly.
Now you give them an elbow.
Yeah, that's what they're like, where's your elbow? Tracy, speaking of hugs, she used to tease me. She's like, I get a new client in, and we've been walking down the hall, and they'd be giving me a hug. I just met them, and she said, "Why do they always hug you?" I said, "I'm
Not huggable.
You're a hugger and
a hugger."
huggable.
Yeah.
And again, I think we mentioned at the beginning, but it's especially in Pasco County, and Barb knows this. That's why we've worked so well together for almost 7 years. Is that everybody not just has businesses here, but almost all of them give back to the community. And like I
Yeah.
said, I serve on the community advisory board for North Bay Hospital, and that's our fearless leader right there. Miss Pat is
Right.
co-chair.
I'm also
with
right,
Joan.
and I'm also involved with Gulfside Hospice. I've been their treasurer for 20 years. I've been on their board for 20 years. North Bay in Morton Plant Meats. Junior Achievement. I've been on a number of boards.
That's
Well,
awesome.
and you know what? All this huggy, feely stuff is so appropriate for this area as
is.
well.
Yeah.
And until I started really doing these shows and the interviews with Paul, I didn't realize the pulse and the heartbeat of
Yeah.
this community until then. And I mean, you guys are a perfect example of that. And you know what? When you go in to talk about your finances and this and that, and you want to have people that have heart.
Absolutely.
I'm seeing that more and more in businesses. So good for you. Yay for you. Well, we just have a few seconds remaining, and we want to thank you for joining us and
Thank
being
you for having
members.
us.
Quick,
Yes.
what's a good? I know it's been on the screen. What's a good number for them to call you at?
It's 727-845-4166.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Told you it would go quick. You
Yes,
didn't believe
it
me, did you?
And we gave a lot of information for you,
Yes,
so
we did.
get a hold of these gals and really give them a virtual hug, right? So you can hook up with them and get some good, solid information that will really help you out a lot. Stick around. We have more on My Chamber TV. We're going to be right back after this. Right, Paulie?
Yes.